Welcome to our deep dive into the data. Today, we're basically stepping into the shoes of a live news desk, tracking the exact pulse of the nation through this week's search trends. It's fascinating because millions of keystrokes aggregate into a story. Every query, every sudden spike in online traffic gives us a real-time mirror of what Romania is experiencing right now. We are looking at raw, unfiltered curiosity.
Okay, let's dive into this. Looking at our trending board for the week, we're going to hit four main news desks: extreme weather, education, political tensions, and of course, the FIFA World Cup.
Starting right off with desk number 1, extreme weather, specifically those intense heat waves and health warnings.
This wasn't just something people casually scrolled past. We're talking about real, immediate physical impacts. Look at this massive number, over 100,000 searches specifically for the word health. People in major cities, places like the Osh, Cluj, and Timișoara, they were actively hunting for survival and health guidance to literally navigate this extreme climate shift.
So what exactly drove that incredible volume? Well, we saw huge, sudden spikes for serious terms like red code heat wave and official severe high-temperature warnings. And then, almost immediately, panicked searches for storm and cloudburst. It's a textbook cause and effect, really. The scorching temperatures built up so incredibly fast that they directly triggered these violent storms, sending everyone straight to their phones to figure out what on earth was happening outside their windows.
Moving to desk number 2, education under the searchlight, focusing on the National Evaluation 2026.
And this brilliantly illustrates how quickly national attention can pivot. We went from turbulent weather right indoors to academics. The core term National Evaluation 2026 alone generated well over 100,000 urgent, frankly frantic searches across the country. It peaked heavily right around June 24th as the academic future of a whole generation basically hijacked the algorithms.
When you break this down, the anxiety just jumps right off the screen. Look at mathematics. Students and parents were furiously searching for the exact subjects and, crucially, that all-important grading rubric. And for the Romanian language exam, same exact story. Everyone was hunting for the rubric and the solutions just to see how they did. We also saw general education portals like Edupedu and the official ministry site edu.ro absolutely surge in traffic. It's like the whole country was doing math at the same time to calculate scores and predict high school placements.
All right, over to desk number 3, political tensions and events, specifically the Vestia government crisis.
Let's look at the timeline and see how this actually built up. Keeping completely objective here, the search behavior alone paints a picture of a nation watching a government in total flux. Chronologically, queries spiked first around political crisis and Mohamed Murad. Then, right on cue, a surge for consultations, which crested right at the critical vote in Parliament. That vote actually pulled in intense interest for figures like Siegfried Moration. He was searched over 20,000 times just in the context of being a minister.
In fact, literally this exact question, did the Vestia government pass, completely dominated search bars as citizens were frantically refreshing their browsers for real-time updates. We also tracked significant parallel spikes, like over 10,000 searches for the National Liberal Party and some intense curiosity around the whole concept of a minority government. The data clearly shows a highly engaged electorate actively trying to decode the immediate fallout of this political crisis.
Finally, our fourth and final desk, the FIFA World Cup. Specifically, those 2026 standings.
Shifting gears to global sports. Wow, the sheer volume of interest here is just staggering. We tracked over 70,000 combined searches from people just wanting to check the standings. The exact phrase, 2026 FIFA World Cup standings, hit over 50,000 searches all on its own. It proved Romania is absolutely glued to the knockout phases of this tournament.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the specific matchups that dominated the traffic. The France versus Norway clash, that pulled in over 20,000 searches, easily making it the undisputed heavyweight match of the week. Fans weren't just looking at the score. They were specifically digging into the context around the superstar players, Ousmane Dembele for France and Erling Haaland for Norway.
But the excitement definitely didn't stop there. Keeping our sports rundown fast and dynamic, we saw another rapid, massive spike. Over 10,000 searches for the intense cross-continental clash between Spain and Uruguay. The sheer variety of international teams trending here shows that the audience isn't just following one single favorite, they're devouring the entire tournament.
And to wrap up our specific World Cup matchups, the England versus Ghana game was another huge driver of traffic. It pulled in about 5,000 specific searches, with a massive amount of the curiosity revolving around the English star midfielder Jude Bellingham. The global reach of this tournament is perfectly mirrored right here in our local search spikes.
So what does this all mean? From tracking scary extreme weather and health warnings, to desperately checking grading rubrics, navigating a shifting political landscape, and cheering on global football titans, this data shows us exactly what Romania cared about this week. Search trends aren't just, sterile numbers on a spreadsheet. They're a living, real-time mirror of a society in motion. But as we close out this week's explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. What unpredictable events, controversies, or triumphs will drive our collective curiosity tomorrow? Thanks so much for exploring the data with us.